We're back.
Did you miss us?
Ah.
We're like, hell no, we didn't even notice.
They're like, actually, unsubscribe. Just kidding.
Right.
Y'all didn't. It's just crazy because we've been gone for a cool little minute and it's fine. Life was lifing, you guys. We're going to talk about it. But life was lifing and we are so close to hitting 1,000 listens. It's crazy because we haven't posted in so many months, but we're at like 945 right now.
So thanks, guys. I don't know who. Well, I don't even know if you're subscribed. Maybe you just listened and dipped. But if you're
Who,
still
what,
here,
where, when, and why? What
thank you
happened?
for coming. Hopefully you enjoyed whatever you heard.
Right.
But we're back.
Episode 49 is blowing up right now. She's
What
doing
episode
good.
was
We have a confession. Is it the clickbait, y'all? Is it the
They
clickbait?
they wanted to hear us spill the tea. That's why.
It was none of our tea, but hopefully you stayed for the whole
You thought.
episode.
You thought.
Exactly. But
No.
yes, we are back, guys. We missed you so much.
Happy 2023. It's a new year now. From at least the last time that we talked to you guys. So
Yeah. And happy Lunar New Year, period.
oh
That
my
just happened.
God. Happy Lunar New Year.
We are
That's
recording
awesome.
on January 25th.
Okay, I could be saying this completely wrong. And I think this is Vietnamese. But Juk Moom Nam Moi.
Period.
Something's wrong there. I know it is. I can hear it.
Oh, I was like, is that what you said?
No, but I know that something along those lines because I remember he was like 6 years old when I was working at a preschool. He taught me that, and he would quiz me. He would come up to me randomly a different day and be like, "Do you remember how to say it?" And I wrote it down on a post-it so I could remember.
Yeah, that's so cute. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it's 2023.
And already we were just talking about it before. We're like, this year's gonna fly by.
Yeah. I'm already overwhelmed.
Bye bye. And we're not even through January yet.
No, like we're getting very close, but basically, you know, just starting a new year just feels nice, even though like I don't really believe in setting goals, but not like having New Year's resolutions because I feel like I just have let myself down so many times that I'm like, let me not, I'm just lying to myself. But it is nice to feel like you have a fresh start, and like you could just let the rest of that go, even though you could do that at any time, but it just feels more significant, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But hopefully you guys had an amazing holiday season and New Year's and you're safe and all of that because people are out here being crazy.
Right. There's been a lot of crazy stuff happening lately.
Yeah.
Specifically though, you went through something.
This past weekend, yes. We were chilling. Let me set the scene, okay? I won't go into like specific details, but like just brief to get the story across. But basically we're chilling. It's 8:30ish at night on Sunday. And pretty much we get a knock on our door like hella loud, like really freaking loud. Like somebody was trying to get our attention. And so we jump up, we go to the door, and the knock goes again as soon as we come closer to the door. So we're like, dude, what the heck? And we weren't expecting anybody. I didn't have no DoorDash coming, like nothing out of the, like it was out of the ordinary pretty much.
Yeah.
And so we look at the people and we see like a younger teenage, maybe even preteen kid. And he's standing there with like a hood on, all black clothes, like just very odd. So we opened the door and it wasn't me who opened the door, obviously. If I was home alone, I would have been like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no.
So that's first safety tip. Do not answer the door if you're home alone and it's like you don't know who the person is and all that.
Especially if you live alone. Like, just if you live by yourself, do not open that freaking door.
Right, exactly. Like just if it feels weird, it probably is, But we open the door.
It feels weird, stay clear.
Yeah, that's our motto. It's the mother week. No, but we open the door and he's like, I'm just looking for money. Like I need money or something like that. And we're like, what? No. We're like, no, not here, whatever. He's like, oh, but because we opened the door like really quick, he got scared. Like he like you could tell he jumped back a little bit. And then there was another kid with him, but like standing off to the side, like kind of almost hiding because he was literally in the dark. And he was wearing a ski mask. I did not know this at the time until we briefed about everything we knew.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the like I didn't even see him. So that happened. And so while we're doing this whole altercation, I guess, the neighbor across from us comes out and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you guys were here. Like I was scared. I didn't want to open the door and blah blah blah. So it was apparent that they were like knocking on several doors, not just ours. So at that point we're like, okay, let's see if we can figure out where they went. So we get in the car and we try to see if they're like knocking on other doors and all that. We couldn't really see anything, but basically, moral of the story is I know that they were just kids and like teenagers, whatever, maybe like 12, 13 years old. But at the end of the day, someone put them up to that, or like, like they use kids because they think like, oh, you're not gonna do anything, or you're not gonna think weird because it's a
Like
child.
someone's gonna put their guard down because they're like, oh, it's just the kid.
They're more vulnerable, I guess. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that you should just let it slide, or like, like just be careful, please.
Yeah. No, I seen a video. It was caught on someone's Ring, like, or their doorbell camera.
Yeah.
And it was two kids, or young kids or something, and the guy opened the door and they said, hey, like our car broke down or something, or like we need a phone. Can we use your phone? Like you're the only one with the porch light on. And they were kind of like, nah, I don't, like, sorry, I can't. And I guess the guy noticed that it was two people, a girl and a boy, and the boy started reaching for like his waistband. And so the guy closed the door really fast. And as soon as he started closing the door, the boy started trying to like charge at the door, but he got it closed in time.
Right.
And because of that, like they just ran off. But like they were up to something, like they already, it can be kids too.
Obvious,
Yeah, so it's really scary. And my sister too, not like that happened to her, but she had just recently put up a doorbell camera
right
outside her house, and she was just kind of like intuition, like let me just put it up, and
it's always better to be safe than sorry.
Exactly. And not too much longer after she put it up, she got a recording of like a woman and a little girl coming up to the door, and the little girl stops and it's like, oh mom, like they just put up a camera now. And the mom literally stops and is like, oh, and then they walk away, but like super slowly walks away. The girl's on her phone, like not even looking up. And we're just like, that's so weird.
Right. I just remember when you showed me, I was like, why would they say it in that type of context? Like, oh, now they have a camera.
Yeah.
Like, how many freaking times have you been over here to my door? Like, what?
And I guess that the apartment, like they've been seen around the apartments, a lot.
So they don't live there?
They do, but they go up to random houses, if that makes sense. Like they live there, but they wander around, but not even just like wandering around the complex, but like up to people's doors. So it's, yeah, because other people have mentioned them, I guess, too.
That's so weird. I'm just glad that like a Ring is such a like a normal, like pretty much everybody got a Ring. You know what I mean? Like, thank God, because the things that people be catching really do. It's not crazy. Only like they make you more aware of what's going on, but also like they help in like cases and stuff. Like if you happen to catch something, like I don't know, it's just please be safe, please be careful, look out for each other, look out for your neighbors. Like I'm not really a friendly-ish person with my neighbors. I don't be trying to make friends and all that, but I was glad that she felt at ease. Whatever. Anyways,
do you know where she's from, your neighbor?
Could not tell you.
Well, I know where some listeners are from.
Where it from, girl? Where it from? Call it out. Call it out.
All right, I'll start with the first one, and then you say the next one.
Okay.
Indonesia.
Hell yeah.
That's really cool because we've been wanting to go there for years. I remember we were supposed to go in 2021.
2020.
2020. Obviously, there was
obviously we all know what happened then.
That wasn't gonna happen. But one day you will catch us there.
We were specifically wanting to go to Bali. as like a friend trip, like us four. Well, I don't know if other people were gonna go, but mainly just us four. And we were so excited about it because it was going to be like honoring like our 10-year friend anniversary, if you will, you know. So it was gonna be symbolic. It still will be one day. But yeah, we didn't make it there. We also have not yet made it to Portugal. But they listen. Somebody's listening.
Thank you very much.
Just staying tuned.
Yeah, there's a singer from Portugal. This is super random, has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Yeah. But there's a singer from Portugal who was on The Voice, and I go back to his
was it the guy?
audition. So yeah, you remember?
You showed me, and I was like, whoa.
I go back to his audition every so often just to listen to it, and it's just still so good every time.
Yeah,
love your guys' language.
Made any music?
He does, yeah. Oh. He actually also became a judge on The Voice out there in Portugal.
Oh, no way.
Like Portugal, I mean, Voice Kids or something like that.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's cute. There's a video of him, a little girl went on there and sang one of his songs, and she didn't pass through. And so to kind of make up for the fact that she didn't get put through, they put her in the judge's chair and him to go up there and sing to her. Aww, so he did, and he sang, and she was crying. Moment. Yeah, she cried, so and then he gave her tickets to one of his concerts.
Oh,
it was really sweet.
It would have been cool for them to sing together, like sing with him, and it was his song. Like, that would be so crazy. Bless her heart. Hopefully, when she gets a little older, you know, develops her voice and her talents a little more, we'll see her.
And he'll remember her.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one more. Now let me know if I say this wrong, but Kazakhstan?
I think it's Kazakhstan, if I'm not mistaken.
Kazakhstan?
We will post the emojis of the flags just to confirm with y'all. So y'all let us know.
Super grateful to have you, and even more grateful if you correct us on how to say that so that we say it properly.
Please. And let us know how to greet you guys, because normally we look that up and we have that whole thing, but we're just trying to get back into the whole groove of everything. So, you know, we'll get caught up. But
you're with us. It's been a minute.
Right. Several minutes. But yeah, let us know how you say hello, or like your type of greeting. What's happening? You know, one of them will do.
From the Bay, then you know that one.
Right. Yeah. And then last thing here, speaking of the Bay, if y'all need any like beats or music producing, any type of things like that, if you liked our intro song or beat, whatever you want to call it, shout out to my cousin John. I'll put his IG right here. You guys can tap in with him if you need any musical needs at all. He's very talented. He's going to school for it, and we're just happy that he took time to do that for us. So shout out to John.
So if you didn't really trip off the fact if we had a new intro, go back, listen to it, and then go and hit him up.
It'll be at the end too, so you could just wait until the end for the outro. It'll be there too. But if you want to hear the intro and you see the video and it's so cute and see our faces, head back,
check it out.
Yeah.
So I feel like also the one that's there kind of goes into our where we've been at and like what we're up to.
I agree. Yes, you are very much right, Gina. Yes, and I have to update you on that, by the way.
Okay, I'm excited to hear it.
Okay.
So like we've said, and I'm sure you know, we've been gone for a while. Yeah. Maybe you don't know, but we've been gone for a while. And
crickets on this channel.
Yeah, a lot's happened, you know?
Yeah.
We weren't just gone and not doing nothing.
Right.
There's a lot going on.
I mean, I wish we could have came back and said we traveled the freaking world and we have all these cool stories. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But we still have some cool stories. That's definitely not going to change.
Yeah. But make the most out of, you know, what we got going on.
Yeah. We're just going to update y'all on where the we've been. Okay. We're holding ourselves accountable. And
last episode came out, what, September something?
September, yeah. It was around like the year anniversary of the podcast. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
First-ish.
So,
which shout out us. We did make it to a year and then took some time off, but we're back. So it don't matter.
And not too long after that, I had a birthday.
Hell yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. I had all my girls with me, which has never happened.
No. We'll post some pictures up here.
Yeah, it was so fun. We did mimosas in the morning.
Yes, yep.
And that was
shots
and got free shots. It was really cool because we got like I think 3 or 4 of like the big, mimosas. They put a whole bottle of champagne in there.
Yeah.
And so we were like the loudest ones in the place, laughing, eating our food. We left because we had to start getting ready for the night.
Yeah.
Before we left, the guy our waiter offered us free shots, and he actually wanted to give us 2 rounds of free shots. Yeah. We were like, we still need to touch up our makeup. We probably shouldn't take another shot, which we should have. Looking back on it,
definitely should have.
But definitely want to go back there because that place was really cool.
Yeah. And let me just say, when we did get back to the house to start getting ready, all of us were just looking at each other like, I don't know if we can do this right now. And like, it didn't hit me while I was there, but absolutely. As soon as I sat down and had my makeup brush, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, really. And all of us were on the same level, which is great. But when you're touching up your makeup, we're all looking at, is this good? And we're like, yeah, good, get it. Oh my God, you look so good.
When we're already seeing cross-eyed, like, yeah, your liner looks great.
Like, thank God the pictures still came out really cute. Like, we looked really good. But it's just funny because none of us really knew what we were doing. Or giving each other advice and not knowing.
It was like the blind leading the blind, for real.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Tipsy leading the tipsy.
Yeah. But we went out later that night and went club hopping, just
had us a GNO for real.
Yeah, it was great. It was really, really fun. And I really enjoyed having all of my girls together. And
we all bonded. Like, it was so nice. I loved it. Yeah, like, I already knew, obviously, the other girls. I just haven't really hung out with them like as closely, especially from being out of high school. So it was just really, really cool to see everyone and like just catch up. And
it was like back at it, like nothing.
Yeah, literally. Like, we had been freaking.
It was so
nice to you yesterday, girl. Like, it was so much. We definitely have to plan another. We should do a Galentine's.
What's funny is that at work there's like all these. No, I don't.
Oh, I was gonna say, damn, that would really hurt my feelings.
I mean, what's funny is I got 3 on deck, and
I'm seeing which one like I can RSVP to.
No, I was gonna say that there's like a bunch of stuff I see at work that I had no idea, like Valentine's stuff that I didn't know existed. There's like Valentine's pastas and like heart-shaped pasta.
Oh my
God,
and
all this stuff, and I'm like, wow. There's so much you can do with Valentine's Day. I just had no idea.
You could really put in effort if you have money.
Yeah, and like even home decor. I mean, like pillows, throws, bed. Like, I just never realized Valentine's was also that big of a deal.
I feel like this year, especially, even though it just started, a lot of people toward the end of last year were saying how like, oh, I want to start decorating for every single holiday, even if it's just a little bit, like towels, throw blanket, like you said, like just little stuff. And I'm not going to lie, I was almost this close to being that same one. But then I was like, okay, but then
I think maybe like one, like you said, when you got the money.
Yeah.
But also maybe once I have kids. Like, for now, it'll be major holidays. But then with kids, I want to make everything exciting and, all that stuff. I think at that point, then I would start trying to do that. At this point,
you can use the same decorations like for every year. We don't got nowhere to put all these bins, you know what I'm saying? So like Christmas and fall, like that's the extent of what I could store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I could do some towels. I'm not gonna lie, I could definitely do some
kitchen towels.
But then I feel like it might be out of place because nothing else is gonna be.
Like, you can do like a color scheme and have like little pops of like actual decorations, I would think.
Yeah.
But just not everything. I think that's too much.
Little hearts. We can make our own little canvases. We don't have to buy them.
Oh my God, I seen those
heart ones, and I don't know.
I'm about to go on a tangent, but like I seen this.
Don't let me go on.
It was so cute. She used different icings and made like those Valentine's hearts, little candy hearts,
sweethearts.
But but did it on a pan. When you see those like like waffle or pancake art.
Yeah.
It was like that. and she did that, but then did a cake on top of it.
Oh wow.
And it looked so cool. And I was like, you see those, I think like baking stuff, those would be really where I would like.
Yeah. Did you see the TikTok that Taylor sent us in our TikTok DM?
No.
Oh my god, it was so cute. So it was a like a martini glass.
Uh-huh.
And you put frosting around the rim, and then you individually put the little hearts all the way around the rim. It was so cute.
That's cute. Yeah.
It was so cute.
People are so creative.
I know. I would never think of doing that.
I'm gonna have to start.
Yeah. This Instagram gotta
Especially
step our game up, girl.
No, really. I think, and drinks would be fun because we like to do that anyways. So it's like making
Exactly.
creative drinks or something like that would be
And when
fun
we
to
were
do.
recording in person, we had the idea of showing us making the drink as a little segment just to hang out with you guys in another way. I don't know. We're content creators, okay? We're trying to aspire. So we were thinking of doing that. And then you could see us sit down and talk with our drink that we just made. And you'll know how to make it yourself.
That'd be super cute. I really like that. We need to do that.
Maybe little baristas, little bartenders. Bartenderistas. Because if I'm sorry. If we record in the morning, we can make a coffee. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. I'm trying to hold it in.
I'm trying to we got it. We got it.
Bartenderistas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically back to what we were saying. Me and Gina are in our book era. We're in our
yeah, that's something new this year.
That's what we were supposed to say like 10 minutes ago. Sorry, follow the bouncing ball here, okay? So we're in our grown shiz era, okay? And I said shiz with Z's.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. So basically we're grown women, you know, meeting our half 20 mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
Yep. Halfway 20.
I was like quarter life. I don't
quarter life crisis for real. I think that's been happening for years though. Yeah. So yeah, we're in our reading era. We're in our chill, read a book, talk about it after book club type era. Okay. And we've done this.
And it's been the funnest.
It's been so cool.
I mean, it's probably literally it has been just pretty much January. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of December.
The era just started. That's okay.
It just started, but we're about 5 books in at this point, so we're doing pretty good.
My 5th book tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're not, we're doing really well.
Yeah.
And honestly loving it.
Yeah. It's been so much fun. Like instead of sitting there and scrolling and like doing nothing for my brain, yeah, I'm reading, and I'm literally read 4 books already. Like I would never imagine that a couple years ago because I never had the desire to, or I would be like, oh, I love seeing girls who like sit and read at a park or something. Like that was just so cool to me. But I could never imagine my ADHD brain actually sitting there and then following, because normally I have such a problem when I read. You guys know, I can't even read these damn Reddit forums. Okay. I stutter, I freaking mess up the words. And that's in my head too. I be stuttering in my head too when I'm trying to read. So I think it had to be the right time. And now it feels
definitely the right time. And I think that we kind of went about it because for me, I know what a problem was. It's like I want to get into reading. Mm-hmm. And as we've mentioned before on different episodes, mentally I'm going through it. Yeah. So every time I would try to read, I'm trying to read like a self-help book, something that can help me. But with not having that drive to read all that much, I would get a certain ways into the book and then stop reading and just leave it alone for months, then try to go back to it. Yeah, it just wasn't working. And so this time going into it, we started off with books that we wanted to read, not something that was like self-help, but just something that interested us, whatever it was. Yeah. And that I think it honestly really did help. So now I'm gonna go start my first self-help book since starting our reading era. And I'm excited.
I have an epiphany.
What?
So, because we started trying, I don't know if this is true, obviously. Who's to tell me it's not? So, because we tried to start reading before and we were trying to like read only self-help ones. Maybe it didn't stick, or like it wasn't working out for us because we weren't ready for the healing era yet.
Maybe.
I felt like more, it literally felt more like a chore than like a leisurely activity.
Exactly. It wasn't
Like
book
maybe we
wasn't
weren't ready
keeping
for
me
that yet.
wanting to read it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even follow it. I would read the whole entire page and I would not even remember. I'd be like,
Yeah, and that
wow,
sucks.
I'm reading. I am sitting here reading. I'm reading words. I can see the word. Like I just
Yeah.
nothing's up.
No, it was hard and it made it not enjoyable. And like you said, like a more like a chore. And
Yeah,
at that point, I don't want to do it. Like I would rather at that point I would rather just be on my phone scrolling. But
exactly.
now it's like we found books that we'd rather be reading
Yeah.
than to be on our phone.
Right. And with that being said, guys, if you have any books that you love or that you've read and you think we would be interested in, please let us know. Leave us suggestions. We can also list in the description ones that we've already read this year. And some of them are similar because we tell each other to read it. And that's kind of how we have our book club, you know what I mean? If we can't find a book to read, we just reach out to each other and then ask.
From there.
But yeah, we want to ask you guys too because we're pretty much open to anything. I've read like romantic type of ones. Gina has as well. I did like a true crime type of one. What was the other one?
Mystery.
Uh-huh. Oh, I did one about the tattooist of Auschwitz. That's what it was called. But like
Oh, those are super
that one was
interesting.
really good.
I like, it's also it depends on what it is, but I do like autobiographies on people that have went through something very it
Traumatic.
sounds messed up, but like traumatic.
Yeah.
But I like reading autobiographies on people and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're open to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like romance, but more if it has some kind of mystery involved with it.
Yeah.
I have learned that I do not like, or maybe I just picked one of the wrong books, but dark romance that I've found on Book Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are a little
Weird.
weird for my liking, and I'm not judging nobody, but
Tickles your fancy. Do you? Do you?
the kind of twisted romance ones, those are a little weird for me, and I'm cool
It
off
didn't
that.
resonate. It just didn't resonate. That's
Not
okay.
at all.
You know what also didn't resonate? The fact that let me not rant. The fact that I read this book and I just finished it today was 451 pages. And why in the world was it the worst ending? But mainly just
Ah,
because I had to sit through 400 and probably 20 something pages of trigger warning of the abuse from this mother. And then you get to the end and she only gets 15 years in prison. And I was pissed. I literally was like, I'm done.
it's crazy how like deep into or just invested, I guess, you get into these
Yeah.
books. I think that's what's really cool about it too, is you just want to talk about it. Like
Yeah.
I'll be reading it and I'll pause and be like, oh my god, you're never gonna guess what just happened. Oh my god, like it's like tea, it's
Why
literally
me?
yeah, it's just so fun. It's a good time. It's a
Right.
good time.
It's really cool. It's like being like, oh, I saw this video. Like, no, in my book right now. Like, I just saw
Yeah,
this part. Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. So yeah, leave us some suggestions for us.
Sessions.
Appreciate ya. Another update from late last year. It was actually Halloween. Ooh.
Super exciting update.
Yes. So I got a new job. Woo-woo! On Halloween was my hire date, and it just so happens that I had to go pick up my computer equipment, yada yada. I run into a neighbor of ours. She has two dogs. She has a chow and a little husky. And I just complimented her because I'm trying to be better about like talking to people outside, And it's not that I'm not like friendly, it's just social anxiety. Y'all know.
Right.
So I just complimented her on her dogs because it's the easiest thing. If you guys are ever like nervous about going to the store or like talking to people, always just find something you can compliment them on, like tattoos, their shoes, outfit, whatever it is. You don't have to do it in like a stalkery way, just be real quick about it. I really like your shirt. It's a really nice shirt, you know? And then you feel better because you reached out to that person. You probably made their day. So basically, that's my tip for the day. But I said that to her. I was like, wow, you have some cute dogs. Wow, I love them. Whatever. And so then she's like, oh my God, actually, this husky one is my son's dog and he's looking for someone to take the dog. And I was like, oh my God. So then
And you guys had been looking into getting another
yes,
dog.
thank you, Gina. Yes. We were looking for Rex to have a friend because he gets lonely, And yes, I work from home, but I can't give him attention all the time. So he needed someone to be there for him, And so we ended up meeting her with Rex to make sure that they got along and all that. But they literally hit it off from the moment they met. Like, he's usually kind of weird with dogs. Like, Gina knows, like, he can be kind of picky choosy about the dogs that he lets near him, or like just how close they'll get to him, you know? So
Yeah.
it was just crazy that they were like fine and we didn't have any issues or anything. So drum roll please. I've only heard it in the beginning, but thank you so much, Gina. We have a new addition to the family, and she's right here. We'll put her picture up right here. Her name is Nova, and she's a husky mix. She's about to be 2, so y'all will see when it's her birthday. You
She's
can
a mix.
Mhm.
What is she mixed with?
I couldn't tell you.
She doesn't know.
No, it just says
Oh,
husky mix on her
she looks
paperwork.
straight husky.
She
That's so
might be
crazy.
a mix of different types of husky, maybe like
Oh,
like
okay.
the Siberian and the
I think it's like Alaskan or something. I don't
something
know.
like that. Yeah, so she might be a mix of those.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it doesn't really say. And I don't have the I have the desire. I just don't have the funds plus the desire to do the whole like swab in the mouth thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually I definitely will, because I really want to know what Rex truly is, like what his whole
Right.
entire like makeup is. But yeah, we'll find that out one day. Y'all will know. We'll do the whole thing. But yes, we have a new addition, and she
She's
is,
so sweet. She's a little love bug too. Her and Sage are so much alike.
yes.
She's a little sweetheart.
Also because Sage is half husky, so I feel like they have similarities just in like their mannerisms and stuff.
Yeah.
So crazy. But yeah, we got a new baby. So
And her and Sage actually they they're getting there. They pretty much get along. They just kind of have little moments where they want to assert their dominance a little bit. You know, two
right.
girls meeting
They're
each
both
other.
like alpha females for sure.
Yeah, but the last time that they were together, they were cuddling, like not cuddling, but they were sleeping together on the
I'm like, let's
beanbag.
not push it. No.
Yeah, they're like sleeping together on the beanbag and sharing it, and so they're getting there little by little. I
Yeah.
mean, they have no other choice, really. So
Right.
they need to get used
I
to it.
think that's what also helped with Rex too, is that literally at first he was very skeptical of her, especially when we brought her home. Like he was like,
Yeah.
okay, like
Why
you
you up in my
with you
house?
outside, but you're coming in here,
Yeah.
like, oh wait, hold on, you know? So they were like jealous of each other for a little bit, but then I think once he realized, like, oh, she's not
She's
leaving.
not going nowhere.
Like it's been several months now, so he realizes now that like, okay, she's not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
it definitely, you can see that he's like, okay, you know, he gets annoyed at her sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, but we try and do our best to like tell her leave him alone or whatever, because he's such a chill dog. And as he's 5 now, so like as he gets older too, like he's just more
Mellowing out even more.
even more than he was, which is saying a lot, because he was
Right.
be really mellow, but now
Yeah.
he doesn't get in trouble. Like he doesn't really do anything to like make us that mad, you know? So
Yeah. He's like, I'll leave that up to her.
exactly. And she does a good job.
Okay, so I definitely wanted to bring up like the fact that I'm trying to journal now.
Oh yeah.
I'm not consistent with that,
I have
but
not yet started. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not consistent with it, but like when I do remember about it, then I do go stop like whatever I'm doing and like
Set
write
like an
something.
alarm or something. But
Yeah,
then
well,
I don't know if
that
that would
kind of
become more of like a chore again.
I think it's more because like sometimes I'm doing something different at that same time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I'm either not home or I'm doing something else or whatever. So like having a set time for
Yeah.
me doesn't really
Or
work,
maybe
but
just
like
thinking of doing it like before bed or something. Or like
yeah,
when you wake up, like
yeah.
for a few minutes, but
So like I
getting into
think
the
but I
routine.
think also not being super strict on myself. I have to write today and like
Yeah.
then if I don't, I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm fucking up already. The
Right.
fact that I've at least been doing it consistently, at least like 3 times a week,
Okay.
then I'm like, okay, like that's still pretty good,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
No, that's really good. I thought you meant like,
Yeah.
oh, I've done it like a couple times, but like I kind of fell off of it, which is fine
Oh
too.
yeah,
You
no, no,
know?
no.
Like some things stick and some things don't. But I think it's just
Yeah.
getting a routine, and I don't know. But again, like not forcing it, because then you like
Exactly.
it's a chore. It feels like I don't even want to do this, and it just feels
Yeah.
like I have to check it off my list of to-dos, you
But
know?
like sometimes it feels so good. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why I want to keep up with it because it's like it actually does feel sometimes like there's already certain stuff I've written in it that I'm like when I went either after I'd finished writing it or when I went back the next day, I'm like, girl, I was doing too much. Like I was just, I was in my feelings and
But
now I
that's
know,
okay. You
but like
shouldn't beat yourself
it's a
up
good
about it.
it's a good like self-reflection. I think that's why I'm liking it so much, is like I'm able to
Like the
see, not just
self-awareness.
try to think back on what I was feeling or like what I was thinking, but like when I can see what I wrote down
Yeah.
and like reflecting back on that, I'm like, okay, you know, or if I still feel that way, I'm like, okay, well, how do I feel differently today, if it's the same?
Today?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm proud
So I
of
want to touch up on that.
No, I'm really proud of you though, because I know it's something that we've tried to do in the past and we're just like, maybe it's just like I said, it wasn't the right time. Like this
I
year
think
just feels
like
so significant because we're both turning 25 as well. And it
maybe
just
that's what it is too.
I think it is like that emotional maturity or mental maturity. I don't know, whatever. Wherever it comes from, I'm grateful. But because like certain things that would have bothered me before, now they just kind of like roll off my back. Like I don't care.
Yeah. And I think like also things that before I was like, oh, that's so corny, or like that's just doing too much. Like I'm not gonna do that. That's not me, or nothing like that. At this point, and we've also like talked about it too, is that I'm still trying to figure out myself out. Like I'm still trying to find myself. So I'm not really sure if it's me. And I tried it, and so far I'm actually enjoying it. Again, not like consistently every single day.
Yeah.
But when I get to it, it feels good to have, you know, or even just doing like a little update from the last thing I wrote. Like, okay, well, since then this has happened, or now I feel this way about it, or whatever.
Dear diary.
Yeah, it's definitely not like that.
I wouldn't have expected that to come from you.
It's not that at all. And I think that's but that's always what I thought about when it came to journaling. It's like, dear diary, XOXO. Like I thought it was the most yeah, like I seen it differently. Then I'm like, but why do I think of it that way when I'm writing how I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, or whatever?
Pen, girl, you get to
exactly
whatever you write.
Yeah. So it's like once I realized like, oh, I'm so dumb. Like I can literally be bouncing around from like topic to topic, because that's how my head works. I'll go from saying how deep in my feelings I am about this and be like, oh my God, Sage is so cute. And then like, you know, like whatever.
Oh God, my stomach just growled.
Damn, I'm hungry. I should probably go eat. And then
I'm gonna finish my sentence.
On the bottom part of the page is food stains.
I know.
So that food was bomb, by the way.
Cheeto dust.
Cream cheese.
Yeah. Oh my God, that sounds so good.
That night when we went through that bag so quick.
Dude, I had to throw away the cream cheese because we left it on my nightstand all night, and I was like, that's probably not good anymore.
Yeah. And it gets warm up in there too.
Yeah, it does get hella hot in the room, huh?
Dude, I didn't need a blanket at all. And I was good. I was
good. When the TV's on, especially if you go up to the TV and like hover your hand, it's like the heat radiates off that shit. And obviously we sleep with the TV on because we're sick. And so we need it. Now that to this point I don't really need it. I just choose to put it on. But yeah, it gets so hot.
Yeah, but it's the opposite over here.
Tell you about the effed up situation that happened to me, because I still had the bagels, right? So I was like, okay, we ran out of cream cheese, so we went to go get cream cheese, right? I was so excited. Like I can't even explain to you how excited I was for the next day. I was off of work. I was going to have a bagel. I was going to make me a good old iced coffee. I was going to sit down. I was going to read while eating my bagel and drinking my coffee. So then the next day comes. I make my coffee. I'm hella excited. I go to make the bagel. Mold everywhere. Everywhere.
No. From 2 days before?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't 2 days after. It had been let's just say like a week. But the bagels were never opened. So how would they, you know? So I should have checked before I bought the cream cheese, but I was just so excited that I didn't, and I was just missing the cream cheese. So that's what happened to me, and I got really sad. So then the next day we bought some bagels, and I did in fact end up having my bagel, coffee, and read.
Okay, so it was just like prolonged a little bit.
Yes,
but you got it.
Yes,
that's so frustrating.
I'm glad I noticed the mold, because it was only on the bottom of them, not on the top. So I was like, had I not looked, I probably would have ate that.
I seen a video where 2 girls were eating something, I don't know, and then wanted like a cake. It was cake, and there was I don't know if it was like a fast eating type thing. He was saying who could finish it the fast. I don't know. Halfway through, one of them's like, there's mold. And they just start spitting it out. Halfway through, they had already like all up in their mouth. She's like, there's mold. And they just had to spit everything out. At that point, they've already touched their tongue.
When I tell you, trigger warning.
Thrown up?
Throwing up everywhere.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I think it would take me a minute to realize the grossness of it and be like, no, that's not, we did not just actually eat like the mold. Right. And then maybe seeing it, yeah, like my brain would be like, no, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. And then seeing it, that like, and knowing, damn, I did just put that in my mouth.
Like, I feel like
I don't know. Funky. Maybe they were going too fast, that like, because it wasn't like they had been going for a few minutes. Like they just stuffed a lot, then realized that there was some on it, you know? Yeah. But it was past the point. It had already been in their mouths. They probably swallowed some. Ugh. Yeah. I
was watching a podcast and this girl was saying how they were talking about roaches and like they live in LA, so they were saying how like certain apartment complexes, like, you know, that place is infested, right? And she was talking about when she was younger and she was growing up, whatever. She's like 30 something now. And she was saying how she got a bag of hot Cheetos from like the top of the fridge and she started just munching on them, snacking, whatever. Her sister was like, oh, can you pour me some? So she went to pour it out in like a bowl or a plate or something. Roaches in hot Cheeto bag and she was already eating them.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Halfway through like what you were saying, I think I zoned out. Like I was still paying attention, but I like my brain started like drifting.
Was my story boring to you?
No, girl, my brain just checks out sometimes randomly. But like it was starting
staring at you in your face in person. I'd be like, I did not hear no one.
Pretty much what I was just doing, because I swear I was there, and then all of a sudden I was starting to, and I didn't realize it until you said the roaches, and it clicks that you started off with talking about roaches. So I should have realized that that's where the story was going.
Yeah, you looked so shocked.
So surprised that
you looked shocked. That was all your reaction.
That's when I realized, oh, I was starting to check out.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up zooming in on your face because the face you gave was like actual shock. Like, yeah, you had no idea.
That was me coming back to the story.
But yeah, she almost ate him. That's all.
Oh my god, that's horrible. My dad has done that though. He's like a really big midnight eater.
Ooh.
So
I find myself to be one of those too.
Yeah, but like to the point where he's asleep and then we'll wake up and like, I need a snack, and then go back to sleep, right?
Right.
So he's like half asleep, and the Schmuckers or whatever, you know, like the peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Thank you. That's what it is. Yeah. The Uncrustables.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some of those. I don't know how long these ones were there for, but he is half asleep, started eating it, then realized like it tasted weird, so he stopped eating it. Doesn't think nothing of it, goes back to sleep.
Oh, no.
Wakes up the next morning and sees the wrapper there. And then that's when he sees the mold on it and realized that he had ate like half the sandwich with the mold on it. And like, oh, no. And I was like, you just don't, because it's happened a few times to him. Different things like that, where he's half asleep and just starts trying to eat, and there's like something wrong with the food. I'm like, Dad, you really need to start looking at your food.
Turn a light on. That's all.
Please, like focus your eyes for a second.
Yeah, open the fridge, get the light from there, and just verify. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. I pray that does not happen to me ever in my life, but actually something like that already has.
You're careful usually though. Like,
I'm usually pretty careful.
Definitely investigate something before you eat it.
Usually I do, but when you would think when you open a water bottle that you've gotten from the case, it's fine.
Yeah,
right?
I would assume.
That's what I did. And
made an ass out of you.
I was a big one, because I drank it and I was like, why does it kind of taste like mint? And a couple of the girls grabbed water bottles too from the same pack, and so they're like, nah, mine doesn't taste like that. I'm like, nah, it tastes like mint. Like, I'm not tripping. And I looked,
it tastes like toothpaste.
Mint, like a spearmint. And when I tell you
there was gum in it,
there was a gum at the bottom of the bottle.
Of a closed bottle.
The closed water bottle that was inside of the pack.
How does that happen?
I don't know. And how is it the odds that I'm the one that picked that one and I drank from it and I didn't see it? Don't know. It's probably 0.0003 and I was the one that got it. And
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I don't think I ever really got sick from it, but it's just really gross.
I thought you were
like,
gonna say I don't think I ever really got over it.
I mean, really not, because now I really inspect my water bottles very
You
well
lived
when
to
I
tell
got
the
them.
story though. You learned a valuable lesson that day.
I guess like I'm just more mad at the
I'm just
fact that
mad.
who does that? What kind of
I mean,
sick,
really,
twisted
at the
person does
water
that?
factory, you're just gonna
There was nowhere else
your
you
gum
could have
out.
put your gum.
That's that's disgusting.
I wish I would have remembered the brand of water that it was. I don't. Anything else though that you wanted to like
Um,
update?
I'm sure once I'm like done, once we're done recording, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But I don't think so.
I think another thing I wanted to um that I think is not necessarily just this year, but or like just in this time. Like we've been talked about it, but like I want to get serious about it this year is finding a good like therapist or
Mhm.
psychiatrist. I think I really need that at
Yeah,
this point. Like I think that I can do all of these things that to try to help myself on my own time, but
right.
also I don't know how to manage certain emotions, or I don't know why I feel these certain emotions or things like
Right.
that, or what it stems from and all these things. And so I really think that I need to sit with somebody that does know about that and that can tell me
Help you
like
navigate.
exactly, because if I can be doing all these things but if I still don't know how to do it properly, like it's not gonna it could help but not to as much as I want it to.
Right.
Like I'm
Or
not
then
gonna
you're
get
gonna be putting a band-aid over it and not
yeah,
actually feeling it. Yeah.
yeah. So I think I really want to get serious about finding a good one.
Mhm.
That's not just gonna be like, tell me all your traumas and then tell me how they made you feel. Like
Right.
I need you to tell me why I feel this certain way because I don't know. Like I can't just sit there and start saying my whole life story, you
Right.
know? Like I need to find someone that can really help me learn about why I feel a certain way, navigate through that
And
and
like
manage it.
unpack.
Yeah, without, I want to obviously I want to try to do it without any type of medication or things like that, but I want to just learn
Like how to
different methods, I guess,
yeah,
on how to cope with certain things.
right.
So that, God forbid, I mean, obviously, I would hope that my kids never have to go through anything the way like I had to learn how to deal with certain things. Like, I don't want them to have to learn that. But by how do I explain it? My mind is going faster than like how I can explain it. But
You don't
I feel
want
like
them
a lot
to
of
have
things
to like
that,
learn it like firsthand. You'd rather them learn it from you telling them like this is how I got through it, or them just learning because that's in their normal everyday
yeah, like I
vocabulary
feel
or
like I
whatever.
learned from a survival standpoint, like because I had to.
Right.
But I want them to not have to go through it, but I still want to teach them about it so that
Awareness.
they exactly awareness. And I also thought too, like as I was thinking about, I don't have kids, but as I was thinking about, therapy for myself, I was like, I want to when our kids get to a certain age, put them in therapy just as a preventative,
Yeah.
just because like I had never tripped off that. Like I never thought about that. Like for them, I was like, oh, for me in my head, therapy is something more that you do because you've gone through something.
Right. When
And so
something's
you
already
need that when something's already gone wrong, but like it would make more sense to put them in it so that they can already learn how to cope with things like in a healthy way.
yeah.
Um, so when they do ever go through something that's harder, they know how to go get through it in
Right.
like a good way and not just, oh shit, now I need it because I went through it and I had a really hard time.
Right.
You
And I
know?
think also because like a lot of the times in the households that we grew up in, just like the other generations, there's a huge stigma around mental health and like,
Yeah.
certain things like being raised by the older generation, they just view things a lot differently than we do. And I feel like nowadays, like people are very open to therapy. Like obviously there's still a
Yeah.
majority of people who don't, and that's fine. Like if they're healthy and they're okay with that, then that's fine. But a lot of people do seek out therapy, and I think it's amazing
Mhm.
that people actually talk about it and make it so
Yeah.
that it's an okay thing and make it to where it's not, oh, I'm crazy, or like I'm, whatever. Like it's not like that, it's
See,
literally
and I think
like going
that's
to
probably why I thought that is like, it's
Mhm.
probably why I thought, oh, it's when something's already wrong, then you go to
Yeah.
therapy instead of like just doing it as to prevent
The
that from
checkup.
happening, you know?
Like you go for a yearly annual checkup.
Yeah.
You should do the same thing, but the way that it's not provided to people, I think that's also why they make it seem like, oh, you're going to a specialist or you're going to like a different part of the hospital that you wouldn't normally go to. It's not with your normal
Yeah.
like physician and stuff. Um I think the more normal it becomes, the easier it will be to access it for people to
Yeah.
be able to actually use the resources. And then when you wean out like the bad therapist, you just have to
Right. And
keep changing. But
that's
it's
the
like
journey I think
hard
that
to
I've
restarting.
yeah, I think that's what's kind of been putting me off from it is that I have tried a couple times and it just didn't really work out. And so it's like, and then when I talk to other people about it, it's like you sometimes you do have to go through different doctors because it's just not a right fit. And but then, there's only really a couple people that I know that they have found the right doctors for them and it's helping them
Like,
so much. And you can see that they're really starting to kind of dissect childhood things and it's helping them a lot. So like I want to get to that point,
right.
like I really want to get to that point of, but I can't do it without trying. I can't get there and just think, oh, I'm automatically going to find the perfect person for me. If I do the first time, great, God bless, but like if I don't, I shouldn't be giving up on it if I'm really serious about wanting to better myself,
Yeah.
you know.
This year especially, I feel like it's definitely about healing, and just because
Yeah.
like we're getting older and we shouldn't be carrying on all of those things that have happened in the past. Like it
Yeah.
it definitely does eventually weigh you down, and in order to fit more stuff in there, we got to let go of some other things that we don't need to carry around with us anymore.
Yeah.
It's still affecting us, but we shouldn't let it still affect us to this day.
Yeah.
And then also like there's these quotes that I've seen where it's like heal before having kids because you don't want your kids to have to heal from having you as a parent. And it's like
Yeah.
that's such a huge thing because even in the way that you were disciplined as a child, like if you need to heal from those things so you don't repeat it, or you learn how to do other ways. Like I know a lot of people like they do the whole gentle parenting thing, and that's all great and dandy and I love that. But there's also like there has to be like a happy medium, like there has to still
Personally, I
be
think the same way.
discipline and respect.
Yeah.
But I do agree that beating your child is disgusting and
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like there has
Yeah.
to be some type of give and take, but even still like learning that that wasn't your fault, however you were brought up in that way, but then also not repeating or putting that onto your kid like, oh well, you have it better now because you couldn't even imagine
Yeah.
what I had, like you
Yeah.
can't live your life like that, and you don't want your kids to feel like waiting for the other foot to drop,
Yeah.
starting fresh and just being like, these are all the experiences that I've gone through and the wisdom to keep going and try to do better.
Exactly that, and the patience for it too. Like as
Yeah.
much as, you know, I feel like with kids specifically, obviously, because we're talking about once we have children,
Yeah.
like I feel like I have a
Like
lot of
you're getting
patience
to
when it
that
comes.
age.
Yeah, like
That's
I
the
have a
only
lot
reason
of
why I said
patience when
that.
it comes to kids,
Yeah.
but at the same time I've never had my own kids, so that could be very different when it's like I came home from a super hard day at work or something and now I have to come and like there's all these different things and like that come with being a
Everyone
parent
needs
that
something from you. Yeah.
yeah, and so that's a whole different experience in itself, so I want to also be make sure I have the patience for it, and like sometimes that not having certain patience or things like that comes from things you don't even know you're still dealing with.
Exactly.
Certain triggers that you didn't even realize you had, but it's happening now and you
Right.
don't know how to deal with it, so it's like
And things
I
stem up
really
differently too.
yeah,
They come up in
yeah.
different times. Like a lot of the things that have happened in our past or in our childhoods, I feel like for some reason they came up a lot in our 20s, like early 20s.
Hmm.
And it was like just dealing with it and unpacking and like, I don't know. It's just such a weird, it feels different. I don't know how
Yeah.
to explain it, but it feels different. Like I said before, like certain things that wouldn't bother me or would bother me before, like bother me, like I'm talking to my core, bother me.
Yeah.
Being a people pleaser, especially
Hmm.
certain things that I would be like, oh my God, like I never thought I could have said no to that, or I never thought
Hmm.
I could have put that boundary. I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. Like it wasn't that hard, but back then I wasn't ready for it. So
Yeah.
it did feel like the biggest thing in the world, you know?
And like now, do you feel good? Like
Hell
having set,
yeah.
setting those
Hell yeah.
boundaries and being able to be like, no, like I'm
And
not
not
putting
even
up with this anymore.
and like like I'm a believer of communication, but I'm also a believer of not communicating because you need to figure out what you did wrong until
Yeah.
you realize that, oh, this person isn't really talking to me anymore. Or, like this person isn't like treating me the same that way that they used to. Like I don't want to have to always be the one trying to hold other people accountable.
Right.
You should do
That's
that
not
on
your
your own.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So also like learning when to communicate and say something because it means something to me and I
Mhm.
care about that relationship, and then other ones putting up that boundary to be like, you know, I'm cool,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I think that's actually one of the other, I think my last one too was with the people pleasing, and we've had whole episodes about that, or we've talked about it a lot on different
We're getting
episodes
better,
too.
guys. We're getting
We're
better.
getting better, and maybe
It feels
it'd be
so
cool.
good
We
to
can
say
kind of
that.
see, the progress in different conversations we've had about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the past few months, really, I've been getting a lot better at being myself, or
Yeah.
like at least more often than my people pleasing self.
Like take it
And
or leave it. This is truly who I am. And I'm
yeah,
sorry to myself that I never allowed myself to be that open with everyone.
yeah, and a lot of it is still, I feel like, at least socially,
Mm-hmm.
like social anxiety wise, um it's making a difference in
Definitely.
how severe my social anxiety is,
Yeah.
because I've always felt like I have to keep up this certain persona. I have to keep up this people pleasing because I've put it up for so long that this is what people know.
Right.
But now I'm getting to a point where it's like that's creating anxiety for me when I have to go and talk to people,
Yeah.
because I feel like I have to put up this front. And it's like
Exactly.
I just want to be able to have a conversation, be myself. Like even my voice changes. Like right now I'm talking, when I'm talking to someone and I feel like I have to keep up this like people pleasing, I'm like, hi, how are you? Like it's like my
Yeah.
customer service voice,
Literally. Yeah.
And like so I have to hold that, and that gives me anxiety when I know
It's
it's
exhausting too.
it's
With the
so
anxiety
draining.
because you're like, oh my God, like I don't want to let it go or like let it down.
Yeah. Or like, oh, now if I speak the way I normally speak or how I think or whatever,
You're gonna
they're
think
gonna
I'm
be
wrong.
like who's that, or she's being
Yeah.
rude, and it's like, no, this is just actually how I talk. Like
Right.
it comes out more maybe blunt or like a little bit more straightforward when I'm just saying
Right.
it normally than how I would try to think of how to say it in a people pleasing way, and like all
Exactly.
these things. So
Exactly.
I feel like the past few months I've been able to get myself to be more myself, and I'm really not with everybody, but I am making good connections with
Right.
people because I'm just being myself instead of putting up this front now, you know?
Exactly. And I
And
feel like
that's been feeling
people
really good.
probably also can tell that
Hmm.
we're doing too much when we're being people pleasers. Not that
Yeah.
we're like extreme to where it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it obviously can be extreme, but
Yeah.
I mean, like we're not. Oh my God, yeah, like
Oh yeah.
like not like
Yeah.
that.
So like kind of, like just this way I feel, or I maybe that's just the way it comes across to me,
Right.
because that's not how I normally talk, and then
Like
it
I
sounds
actually
like
don't
that.
give a shit.
Yeah, like, and there's times where like you said, where someone's like, maybe I felt like I was doing too much
Yeah.
because of the other person's response, and I think about it and I'm like, my response probably would have been the same if the roles were reversed.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. Like
Right.
I could have just been myself in that moment, and now I wouldn't be double thinking about what I just did.
I wouldn't be so exhausted from this one conversation with this one person because I've had to
Yeah,
exhaust myself and run laps around my brain.
literally. And like it just sounds so easy to be like, just be yourself.
Yeah. But
That'll
it
make you feel
doesn't
so much
stick
better.
until it sticks, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of you people pleasers, y'all know what we're talking about. So we don't just sound crazy. We might not be able to explain it the way it's supposed to be explained, but y'all know what we're talking about. Like you have to keep up this persona. Like you just have you're just perfect, you know?
Yeah, like
The
and it's not to
perfectionism
say,
doesn't need to be there all the time.
yeah, yeah. You don't have to say
Especially on
thank
people
you
that you know don't give a
20,000 times in the same situation. And that's also something that I do all the time. Is like I'm always saying thank you. I'm always saying like
sorry.
I'm
Say
trying to
sorry
trying to
so
have
much.
my manners on 1,000.
Yeah.
When my manners, just saying it once or twice is still enough. Like
Right.
that's good. It
Yeah.
gets overwhelming when it's too much now. And
Exactly.
now I'm like, I'm
But you
just,
don't want to be ungrateful. Yeah.
yeah.
I get it. I literally get it.
So getting there, you know.
I literally laughed at myself yesterday because I was on the phone with a client or a customer and I was helping them do whatever. And we were just talking about random stuff like small talk. And I laughed, such a fake laugh. And girl, I muted myself and was like, girl, shut up. Like, why did you do like that specific tone of my laugh played in my head over and over and over, and I was like, you sound like a dumbass right now.
I still do that, I'm not gonna lie. That one I'm still working on.
It was the worst, Gina. I literally felt so stupid.
It's like awkward silence,
nothing, but I was just like, oh, why did I do that? Like, why did it come out like that?
That 2 a.m. thought.
It did not keep me up at night, I'll tell you that much, but it really did bother me. I was like, dang, like, why did that happen? It was kind of embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie, but she didn't care, so that's
and she can't see your face anyway, so it's good.
Period.
Yeah, so we're getting there, guys. It's
we're in our reading era, we're in our journaling era, we're in our mental health awareness era, in our healing journey era, just all the eras. You're gonna see. Hopefully it develops more and more, and we'll add more things to it. We'll keep you guys updated on stuff when we learn them, but we just wanted to get y'all cut up because it didn't feel right just coming back and like jumping into something else when we were gone for so long. Yeah, like we had to have this foundation set. Like we're good, you know, we're good.
You guys good? How are y'all doing? How have you been the past few months? Like,
let us know.
Holidays are hard for a lot of people, and we understand that 100%.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys are doing good from the holidays. We're past them now.
Today actually is the last day that the sun will set before 5 p.m. until November. So we will be back in business with more sunlight, you know, sunsetting around like 7, 8 o'clock, whatever. It'll get there eventually. But yeah, we've made it, guys.
That's good news.
You've made it.
That is really good news because the sun setting early really takes a toll on me.
Me too.
And I'm really excited to have more daylight.
Me too.
Although I wonder how like people in Alaska are though. You know, how they can have
praying for them always.
That's different.
That's rough.
I don't know if I'll be able to do that.
You have to literally just embrace the darkness at that point because.
But then in the summer, it's like daylight all the time.
Yeah,
and then it's like
no.
I wonder how late you can get yourself to stay up when it's sunlight all the time. Well, you know, like say you're gonna go for a night out.
Stopped us before. Nor has the darkness the nighttime, because we definitely stayed up for more than 24 hours before. So really,
I just did that like last weekend, and I don't know where the time went. I don't know.
We could do that together all the time, literally every time.
Yeah,
because we don't ever shut the F up.
Clearly, if you guys haven't, if you're new here, clearly if you go back to our other episodes, we don't really know how to stop talking. Sometimes we're talking and we're like, oh, we need to like get to the point we're going on a tangent, and then continue to go on the tangent.
Yeah, but y'all know what you get when you come here, so like maybe you're like that too. We welcome that.
That's really the crowd we're going for. We want to appeal to, because you'll understand us and we understand you.
Yeah, you know, if you get it. If you don't, you don't.
Right. And we're a community here. So if you're judging us, you can leave kindly.
Candid Cloud Convos community.
I'm dead. Yeah.
Well, guys,
hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, I was going to say Zoom is about to kick us out in 2 minutes because we still don't pay for it, because who has time?
Not us.
Get it together.
Okay. Do you want to say the wisdom of the week?
Yes, I will right now. This first wisdom of the week for 2023: never underestimate the power you have to take your life in a new direction. And that is from Germany. Kurt. Is it supposed to be Jeremy, or is it Germany?
It said Germany. Okay. I looked at it twice.
Jeremy Kurt.
I also wasn't sure if in the last name it was an R or an N, because it was in like a handwriting, but I wanted to assume it was not going to be an N.
Yeah.
So I put it as an R.
The other word will definitely get flagged.
Yeah. So I just went with the R.
Yeah, I love that. And if it's not your name, I'm sorry, but it will be on Instagram so you guys can see the quote. We love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in today.
And catch us on the next one because we are back now. So
back
there will not be as long as there will not be as long as a I can't even say it.
There will
not be as long of a break as we had.
There you go. Previously. I was gonna say pause, but yeah. We'll be back next week, guys. Peace.
Bye.